Hello, everyone. My name is Lauren Collins. I'm a pelvic physical therapist, and I am coming to you today to talk about issues around pelvic health. Today, more specifically, we're going to talk about vaginal weights and Benoit balls. Um, and I'm currently out of town. I am lab assisting a pelvic health course, and I felt like the universe was telling me to bring this topic up because before I left town, a patient of mine was telling me and asking me about vaginal weights. And of course, I come to this course, and one of the topics that we discussed today in the course is the use of vaginal weights. And as a person who's been doing this for a while, I feel like I need to tell you or bring knowledge about what not to do with vaginal weights. Okay, so it's a little late. I'm a little tired. Forgive me. Been in the classroom all day long. One of the first things that I would say not to do with a vaginal weight is to wear it all day long. So our pelvic diaphragm muscles are meant to be flexible. They're meant to be able to relax, and they're meant to be able to contract. And the relaxing portion of our pelvic diaphragm muscles is just as important as the contraction part of our pelvic diaphragm muscles. We have two kinds of muscle fibers that make up our pelvic diaphragm muscles. They are slow twitch, or our endurance fibers, and then we also have fast twitch, which are more about our sphincteric fibers, the ones that have to contract to help us with keeping continence, or in other words, with maintaining urine or stool, for us to be able to hold on to that. So when you wear Benoit balls all day long, or for 8 hours at a time, which is what someone told me that they knew someone was doing, or vaginal weight for that long a period of time, what you're doing is you're forcing the muscles to maintain this contracted state, to be lifting for a really long time. It does not give them the ability to go ahead and relax. Now I'm going to use my biceps muscle as an example because you can see it moving, so that's a good way for you to kind of get an idea of what I'm talking about here. My biceps muscle, when my arm is completely relaxed, my biceps muscle can lengthen so that my arm can straighten out, right? And when I want to contract my biceps muscle, I do that, and I can bring my hand up towards my shoulder. Now, if for whatever reason I decided to walk around all day long holding a weight in my hand right here, so now my muscle gets trained to be in this position for however long that I'm carrying this for. So when I go to straighten it out, it has a hard time doing that. And then I'm also weak because now I can only contract from here to here, right? Instead of being able to contract from here to here and get the full length of my muscle belly. Now your pelvic diaphragm muscles are also a stabilizer. So they're meant to be contracting in types of positions that we functionally move in. And those types of positions are standing, sitting, walking, up and down stairs, squatting, bending, lifting. But they're not meant to do them to a point where you can't relax them. You got to be able to do that. And you need to be able to relax your pelvic diaphragm muscles to do some other very functional activities, such as defecation or having a bowel movement, urination or peeing, and having a baby. And breathing, because our pelvic diaphragm muscles work with our respiratory diaphragm to be able to allow us to breathe. So they have to be able to do both. Now, I'm not saying that you should never use a vaginal weight or a Benoit ball or a jade egg, whatever your choice of a vaginal weight is. They're appropriate, but I would suggest, if using them at all, to use them with your regular exercise program. So if you're doing something like squats, go ahead and insert them for squats. If you have a walking program, say you walk for 30 minutes a day, go ahead and put them in for that. But I would not recommend you wearing them for hours and hours on end. You wouldn't go around walking around for hours and hours on end, having some resistance, someone pressing against your back while you're walking, because your back muscles are a stabilizer, right? You wouldn't go around all day long having someone push at the back of your legs to make your butt muscles work all day long, because that would just be ridiculous, and it would overactivate those muscles too much. So that's what happens when you do that. You start to overactivate your muscles, they start to shorten, and they don't lengthen like they need to. So that's my tip for the day. Go ahead, and if you must use your Benoit, your vaginal weights, your jade eggs, do them just while you're doing your exercise program. But let your muscles go ahead and do on a regular daily basis what they're supposed to, with being able to relax and contract. If you feel the need to practice using and engaging your pelvic floor muscles all day, which you should, because you're using it for things you do functionally, it's just to kind of pull up your pelvic floor muscles while you're bracing your abdominal muscles and your back muscles while you're doing things like walking on a gentle basis. I like to say about 30% of a contraction, because you should still be able to breathe while you're engaging all of these muscles together. I'm going to talk about that a little bit more in another blog, but that today is my lesson on using vaginal weights. I hope you find this helpful. If you have any questions or comments, again, you can write it in the box below. My website is www.vitalselfpt.com. Thanks. Good night, everybody. Bye.